1. We left the trailhead at about noon today, and it's now probably 6:30. We're in here about 9 miles, dropped down into the canyon and set up camp, then climbed back up a ridge behind camp to get some elevation and do some glassing. Got a big old bull buffalo down here below us in the bottom. And we got about 30 cow elk in this bowl in front of us that we're just making sure there's not a bull here. And we're not seeing one. So that's where we're at so far. We're going to keep covering country with our optics and see if we can turn up a decent bull to make a move on tomorrow morning. So. Alright, so end of day 1. Made it back to camp tonight after about 11 miles, I think. And saw probably 60 or 70 head of elk. We only saw one decent bull, a decent 6-point, but he's nothing to get too excited about yet. I did hear some bugling, so we're gonna get rested up tonight and hit it hard again tomorrow. Morning of day 2. We got into a good pocket of elk, same group of elk we saw last night, and we just wanted to make sure that there was not another bull in here. And we got up here to within probably, I don't know, 100 yards of the edge of where the cows were bedded. And it's just so dry and crunchy, it's really hard to sneak in on them. So we actually booed a couple of the cows that were on this side, and they scared the whole herd out of this pine pocket right here, and they all dumped across that side hill. I don't know, 70, 80, 100 head of cows with just a couple bulls. One pretty nice bull. It's the same bull we saw last night. It's definitely one that we would likely be interested in if we can get him in bow range. Been glassing most of the day. We have seen a couple different groups of elk. In fact, we're setting up a group right now with a nice big 5-point in it. Just probably not big enough for us to be interested in. Lots of glassing. Not seeing as many elk as we expected to see, but we think they'll start to heat up with the rut over the next few days. So we'll just keep at it. We're gonna head down, take a look at this deadhead that we glassed up across the canyon and see if we can sneak in on this big 5-point and play with him for a minute, see if we can call him in. Made it back to camp after day 2. It was a rough day. 8 miles, Kobe? I think 8 miles. Lots of climbing, mountains, ridges, lots of rough country. Still pretty slow actually. We're pretty bummed. We're seeing elk, seeing lots of cow elk, only a couple of mature bulls. Not a lot of rutting action. So we're gonna see how this plays out. Day 3 recap. Relocated camp. We covered about 7 miles. We're up a new drainage. Hunted this whole canyon tonight. Only saw a couple elk. No bugles, no cow calls. Just lots of buffalo sign and lots of buffalo crap all over the trail. So we're convinced there's no elk in this drainage either. So we're pulling out of here tomorrow. We're going to give them a couple days and try hitting the unit from a different side. See what we can drum up. The challenge is real. The struggle is real. Take that. Alright, we went home for a couple of days, regrouped, and we're now back at a different trailhead. About probably 10 miles as the crow flies from the other trailhead, but we had to drive about 200 miles to get to this other trailhead on the south end of the unit. So we're hoping that we can get into a few rock on this side of the unit, and we're going to hit it first thing in the morning, get going way before daylight, see if we can locate some bugles before it gets light and be setting on them when the sun comes up. Go slow. So he knows you're there now. Go slow. You little devil.
Oh, they look like me.
Elk right there, right by a wallow. It's gotta be a bull. Let's just hope this is a group of like 5 bulls. Well, we've hiked in about probably 3 miles this morning. Saw one group of cows off the other side, and we've got a little raghorn bull right here below us getting a drink. No bugles yet this morning, so we're just going to keep covering country until we find a bull that's ready to vocalize a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if he's right here. Wish I could tell for sure what the wind is doing. He just tipped over right there. I must have long punched him. I got one range on him, like 46, and then he moved a bit, so I just guessed 45. Humbling when you kill a big old bull like that. Like, I don't know, something about it. Mixture of excitement and a little bit of sadness. This hunt, honestly, from like the moment we left the trailhead until we were done, like hauling the elk out, it was a struggle. We were dealing with heat, really dry conditions, drought, very low elk numbers compared to what we were expecting. I mean, we were putting in 8 to 12 miles a day in really, really rugged country. We just kind of kept grinding, kept going, just kind of kept telling ourselves that this would, you know, if we stuck with it, it just takes one elk to work, to get rutted up, and for us to be successful in harvesting a bull. You know, the last day culminated in about a 15-mile day where half of that was loaded with, you know, elk meat between Kobe and I, and it was exhausting really from day one till the final day. But once again, that's the kind of the special attribute of this hunt. That's what makes it unique and special and makes it very memorable for me. I learned again on this hunt that it only takes one. Just keep grinding, keep working, keep hoping. It ultimately leads to success. It only takes one.
Give us our day 4 update.
We hiked and then kept hiking, and then we got around another corner and we hiked some more. We went up a hill and hiked. We went on like a big flat part we hiked, some downhill parts that we hiked, and then I think we got some hiking left to do.
Slow hunting with our ears tucked in. We think that's been the dilemma thus far. Our ears have been out of our hats.
Yeah.
They've been glowing a little bit from the sunburn, and plus they let off a different odor, you know, when they're not tucked in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna tuck our ears in, which by the way, you need to tuck yours in. This can't be a one-person show.
Okay. So what's hurting the worst, man?
Nothing hurts too bad.
So if you were to describe today, how would you describe it?
Today was a lot like freaking awesome, and then like the worst 2 hours of my life. 4 hours? I don't even know what time it is anymore. But it was amazing, and then the worst right away.
What made it the worst?
You know, packing that elk out like twice. My phone says 15 miles today.
That's not too bad.
Compared to what?
15 miles with half of it with about an 80-pound pack on.
We're gonna be doing a lot of slow movement and calling. We're gonna see if we can convince a bull that it's time.
What do we think about that buffalo?
What?
What do we think about the buffalo, though?
The buffalo?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get up here and shoot one in the butt.
Okay.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
You dirtbag.